Hello and welcome to another exciting breakfast with Unity. So this morning we're going to be doing some more UI stuff. I guess I should have announced this as UI week, but I had no idea that it was going to become that. And we're going to be doing message boxes. So kind of an RPG style thing. The level we're going to be basing this on is our interact level. I'm going to go ahead and copy this. So we're just going to open this up. Actually, no, let's Command D to duplicate it. I'm going to drive it into our message boxes folder, which is for our new episode here. I also have a typing sound in here. If you grab the zip, it will already have this in it. So this will allow us to have, if we get time, to get a little typing effect to go out. So we're going to go to interact. So where are we on interact? So I'm going to call this actually message boxes now, so that we know that it's the right level. And let's just see what we've got here first real quick. So if we hit play, this is the one that we have a little button here that when we get up to it, it takes forever because that's to load up the UI thing. But press fire to interact, and we interact. Cool. So I'm going to make this little button, instead of just doing that, we're going to have it make it display a message box. So we're going to make a message box first. We're going to create a... what are we going to create? A UI... We're going to start with the UI panel, and then underneath this panel, we're going to create a UI text. And I'm going to change the panel background to use one of the things that we had from our target box stuff. So reticles, target box, we're just going to use that. So that gives us a little outline thing. And we're going to, let's see, what else are we going to do? Yeah, that should be good. And so now we're going to make this kind of fill up the screen in some way. So right now, if we go to the game view and hit play, our panel's actually there. You can see it on the very outside edge of the screen, which is not what we want. We don't need this thing to be full screen, obviously. I'm going to anchor this thing to the bottom. And we're going to make it so, or should we make it stretchy in some way? Let's just anchor it to the bottom for now. And let's make it smaller. So we're going to put it at... we're going to change the width and height until it's about what we'd expect for a message box. I'm going to set the canvas to pixel perfect rendering so that we get better results. And I'm also going to make sure on the panel, right now it defaults to a low alpha. We're going to put the alpha all the way to the top, so that's a nice white box. And actually, I'm going to increase the scale on this thing, so that we have bigger pixels. It does mean that we have to adjust the width and height accordingly, but I think it'll be worth it. So let's change the width down to like 200, 30, 50, 100, 150, somewhere in there. There we go. This looks like an RPG panel. And let's see. So this does not resize. We definitely want some kind of resizing. So let's have it stretch. Let's not have it stretch vertically, but let's have it stretch horizontally. So we're going to do the stretch horizontally, but at the bottom. So now if we change the window view, it will... Oh, okay, we can't use scale. We just lost our rights to use scale. All right, so if you want thicker things, you're going to have to make them thicker in the art, because it will mess up all your layout capability. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the position back down. We're going to change... Wait, why is it right, left? That's silly. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, okay, that makes sense, actually, yeah. So we're going to just set this up to like 100 off the left, and let's see. What does the right even represent? Like, I don't actually understand what this... If I do 100 here... Oh, okay, so it's the amount from the right. That makes sense. Okay, so cool. So then we'll make the height something... That looks good for now. That's enough messing around with the look at that. Let's put the text in here. So we're going to move our text. I'm going to switch the text again to our visitor font because I really like that font. And we're going to make it 20 point. And we're going to make it so that it is left justified and centered. And we're going to actually go into the scene so we can see the size of the text box and size it so that it's useful. So we're going to take it here. We're going to resize it. Actually, can I just do that in here? Oh, we can. Let's use this tool. Yeah. So we're just going to resize it so that it takes up most of the frame. Boop. And boop. There we go. And we're going to make it so this one's centered. This should actually resize with its parent, so I'm going to make it full resize. And so now if we go into the game and change the size, we have this text box and it changes size. Good. So let's see what we got here for tools. I want to test some things. New text, here's what happens when we type too much. Ooh, hold on, did you see that? Oh! So the old text assets, as a matter of fact, if we were to pull in I'm not going to show you, but if we were using a 3D text, it doesn't have word wrapping. This has word wrapping. I'm so happy we don't have to write word wrapping. I was expecting to do that this show, so one less thing to do. So we've got message that we can put here. Message. So now we've got this thing. Let's create a script. Create C# script. So we're going to say, we're going to call it display message box on interact. And let's go to our interact here. So, yeah, perfect. This will be perfect. So we're just going to go over to display message box on interact. And we're going to say public text. Oh, yeah, we're going to need our Unity Engine UI section. UnityEngine.ui. So public text, message box text, and public game object message box canvas. Let's not do the canvas. Let's just do the message box itself. So we're going to save that. And then what we're going to do is in interact, void interact, which remember this is called via our, we send a message when something gets interacted with. Which we can change that to an event, but I'm not going to for this episode. So on this interact, all we're going to do is we're going to set message box, message box dot enabled, dot set active true, and then we're going to we're going to need some message box text. So public string message, and then what we're going to do is message box text dot text equals message. So if we hit save here, and then in void, what we're going to do is we're going to create a void update if input.get button down, we'll do fire1 again. What will we do? We will set message box dot set active equals false. So we're going to save this. We're going to put this on our button. I'm going to replace what we already have on the button, which is turning the game objects on and off. And we're going to put toggle game object on interact in the button. And I'm going to change our text color so that it's a little bit more visible. And let's see if this will work. So we're going to make a message here. What happened? I swear okay, I guess I didn't do that yet. Toggle game objects on interact. What does this do? Oh, I must have removed the wrong thing. Okay, whatever. Let's add... Oh, I put the wrong interact back on it. That was silly of me. So we want the message box, so that's going to be text here and panel here. I'm going to call this message box. And then what should we have as our test? Hello world would be appropriate, but this is a test of our messaging system. Yay. So now if we hit play and we disable this thing by default, if we go up to this game object and interact it, it should bring up our text box. Yay. And if we hit fire again, it goes away. And then if we go back up to interact with it and comes back, there's probably an edge case if we interact and yeah, it just stays there if we're talking to the person again. I'm just going to leave that for right now. There's so many different ways you can handle this. One of them is make it so you can't move while a text message is happening. So this gives us a little message, and we can put different messages on different buttons. So let's just show that real quick. I'm just going to duplicate this button, move it to the right a little bit, and duplicate the button again, move it to the left a little bit. And then we can have different messages. I like messages too. And then this guy will just be like broken or something. There we go. So if we go up to these different message boxes now, if we hit interact, bam, we got the ugly broken one. We got this. If we directly interact with them, it just switches to them. That's kind of cool. So cool, we have message boxes. That was so much easier than it was in the old Unity. Now let's make it a little bit fancier. What we're going to do is we're going to make it so that this actually displays the text out character by character. So we're going to do public float character delay equals 0.2f, now 0.1f. Let's try that for a default. And then public, okay, yeah, that's what we'll do. And actually, now let's do one more thing. Public sound clip, no, I just want, where's my sound clip? Sound clip. Okay. Public sound clip. Typing audio. Alright, save. So now I'm going to put a sound clip. Cannot be found. Sound. How can sound clip? Sound clip. Audio clip. Ah, that was my problem. Audio clip. Yay. So, save. That was silly of me. And now we're going to put a audio thingy. Let's do audio source on our message box. And what we're going to do is we're going to set it to not play on awake. We're going to give it this. Actually, I guess we don't need to give it a sound clip. We'll not do this. We'll just assume whatever's on there is appropriate for it. And I'm going to make this typing sound not a 3D sound because we don't want it to be a 3D sound. And here's what the typing sound sounds like, by the way. It's just a real quick little thing I did in SFXer. So what we're going to do now is in interact, we're going to not set the text message. We're going to instead do a start coroutine. Type message. And actually, we can do it this way. It's fancier. And we do an I enumerator so that we have a coroutine. We're going to call it type message. And what we're going to do is first we're going to set messagebox.text equal to nothing, just an empty string. And then what we will do is what would be the best way to do this? Let's try it. Can we do a for each on a string? Let me ask Google that. For each string, C#. I don't think we can, but let's see. Loop over string array. Okay, that's a string array, yeah. Loop over string characters. Okay, you can just do it. Sweet. For each char, char C in message. Is that how it works? Alright. For each char C in message, what we're going to do is message box.text text plus equals C, and then we'll play our sound. So if message box.audio does not equal null, message box.audio.play. There we go. So we're going to do that. And we need our delay in here somewhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the delay up at the top here. We're just going to do yield wait, yield new, return, yield, return, new wait for seconds, character delay. I'll just copy that in. Alright, so what this will do is this will wait for the time specified by character delay and then come back to this type message thing. So if we hit save now, and anything else we need to do? I think that's it. So let's give it a shot. So we're going to come over here, we're going to go to one of these objects, and let's see if this works the first time. Okay, not quite perfect. Okay, we got multiple of them running, that's good. Alright, so let's see what we can do here. Why is it that it's not changing the message box text to be blank first? Oh, that's why. We still have this line here. There we go. Save, hit play. There we go. Oh. Now we're getting some really interesting stuff. Huh. What have I done? This is so broken. Alright, that's too awesome. So this can exist on each of the boxes. I just am going to interact with one box for right now. Hold on. Just want to make sure that they're not... So if I just interact with this repeatedly, yes, we get some problems. So let's make it so that we do stop all coroutines first, and that might just solve this. It might not solve it in the case of two boxes interacting at the same time. So that's something you'd want to prevent, but I will leave that as an operation for you. So if we just do this repeatedly, yay, it works. If we do this, now you can concatenate all the messages together. Well, we made some really messed up looking stuff here. That's good. But it does work if you individually turn off each one. So if we do like interact, alright, so should I take this time to fix this real quick? Let's just make it so that when we interact, it disables our inputs and stuff somehow. So what I'm going to do is, since we wouldn't want to change this every time, so where's our interact stuff? That's in main camera, is it? Interact. Alright, display interact. So here's where we'll put the, we'll do public, public, game object, actually no, public behavior, array, controls to disable during interact. Let's see. That's really wordy, but I'm just going to go with it. And what we will do is we will make it void, just public void, public static void, disable control for each controls disabled during interact. So for each behave or bev in, I'm sure I misspelled behavior. Behavior bev in bev dot enabled equals false. So we'll do that, and then we'll go ahead and create enable control. And in order to call these, we're going to need to create a ghetto singleton. So public interact. What are we going to call this? Instance. In our start, we're going to set instance equals this. There's our ghetto singleton. We're done. It's a two-liner. Save. Now I can access this stuff anywhere. Public static. And then we need to make sure that we use instance.controls to disable here. There you go. So if we save all this, and then we go into our display message box, and we do, so what we'll do is interact, and then at the end here we will do interact dot interact. Did we save this? We did. Oh, interact dot, we know it's supposed to be in here. Instance dot, oh, actually we don't even need the instance. We can just do disable control. Boop. And there'll probably be a reason this is not typing out, so we'll see what happens. So I'm going to do that here, and then on here we will do enable control. So if we save this, we checked for our little problems. So what problem do we have? Expression denotes a method group. Public static void, enable control, and disable control. They are both here. Did I spell interact wrong somehow? Like in one of these places? Huh. This is awkward. What's going on here? Oh, it's because this is also named interact. That is the problem. So we're going to call... Oh, that's annoying. So what do we need to call this? Shoot. Unity engine dot interact. Does that show up? Interact. No, it doesn't. All right, so I'm going to rename interact here. This is awkward. Let's. So what's happening here is interact is what this thing thinks it is here. So That's annoying. So we're going to have to change interact to be, we're going to call it interact, interact event is what we're going to call it. And I'm going to change it in interact to send interact event. And I'm going to very, very quickly retcon this to everything else. Find files, find in files. We're already way over. Oh well. I just want to finish this thing up and then have a good weekend. So we're going to look for interact. Toggle objects on interact. This one should be interact event. Switch camera on interact, interact event. Switch to vehicle on interact, should be interact event. And the rest of these are already set up, so I'm just going to hit save all. Let's see how this does now. Yay, compiled. So now if we go into our interact thingy and add our controls here, so we'll just do, we don't want mouse look, and we don't want, that's that. Oh yeah, and we need to make it so that we can't actually interact again. How do we do that? Switch camera, interact. So let's go to interact and make it so private bool interact disabled equals true equals false. And what we'll do is if interact, if not interact disabled, then we do this stuff. And then in enable control, we do interact. Oh yeah, we need to use instance.interact disabled equals false, and we do the same thing up here. Equals true. So now if we hit save, after all that, when we go to play, if we run up here and hit fire 1, I can still move. Oh wait, that's because I need to disable 2 mouse looks. Alright. It still showed the text though. Why did it do that? If not interact disabled. Huh. Oh yeah, so I have to put another else statement. Else interact disabled and display interact is false. Save. We'll get this eventually. So, and then let's get the other control to disable. So I need to, because I did it as behaviors, I'm going to need to add, not debug, that's not what I want. I want another inspector, add tab inspector. We're going to throw it over here. We're going to lock the inspector. And then what we're going to do is we're going to change this to the first person controller, which also has some movement stuff in it. And we're going to add it to our list here. We're going to go over here, drag that in. We don't need the character motor, we don't need mouse look, and we probably don't need the first person movement controller. Actually, let's keep the character motor on. Let's go back to 2 and just get rid of. So we got the first person controller. What do we have in this list? So we got the first person controller, and we need the mouse look. That's what we need. We already have the mouse look. So we only need 2, right? Oh, wait. Oh, we have 1 in the mouse look. So 2, and then 3, and then make the third one this mouse look. Alright, this should work. Hit play. Come up here. Interact. I can't move. If I cancel it, oh, we're stuck in a loop forever because I can't actually, it automatically re-interacts with it. How do we fix that? And it's 30 minutes in. Yay! It was going so well, and then I just had to clean things up. All right, interact. Sorry for the long episode, folks. Don't need this open or this open. So when we re-enable our control, somehow that's allowing this to happen. I'm going to have just a small resume delay here. We're just going to do a public float interact delay equals 0.21f. Yeah, we'll just do that as the default. Save, and then what we'll do is invoke dot we'll do instance dot invoke toggle turn off interact disabled false is what I'm going to call it. And the delay will be re-interact delay, instance dot re-interact delay. There we go. Save. I think this is going to do it now. We're going to set this now to void interact disabled false. Throw this in there, save, and then we hit play. So now if we interact with this thing, hopefully interact, we can do it. So it says press fire one to interact in the corner too, so that's wrong. So we definitely ran disabled control because we can't move, right? Like that's one of the things that we absolutely did, right? Oh wow, got an interesting one there. Oh wait, if I just interact anywhere it does that? Oh, that's no good. Why does that happen? Display message box on interact. Oh, because we're not checking anything here. Okay, that's part of our problem. Yeah. Details, public, bool. It's Friday. I'm just doing this. Public bool. Message box enabled equals false if message box enabled. So now we shouldn't just lock our movement willy-nilly when we hit fire. So looking good, looking good, looking good. We go up here, we interact, it locks our movement. The interact went away, that's good, but I can't actually get out of here now. Why can't I get out of here? Oh, yeah, probably because we enabled the message box. We didn't even enable the message box, did we? So we need to make sure that we do message box enabled equals true, and then message box enabled equals false. Save, play. We'll get there. It's working. Oh, it actually stopped, but my controls didn't come back. But it did stop. That's almost good. That's almost great. I'm gonna hit it again. I'm gonna cancel it out. Can't play disabled audio source. That's fine. All right. Oh yeah. At this point, we should probably stop all coroutines here too. So, boop. That way we won't have the audio attempting to play when the audio source is disabled. And why are we not re-enabling? We're going to go back to interact. We're going to double check. And that's our problem. Enable control should be true here. Save. Play. We're done. This is it. This is the one. I know it. Go up here, we interact. We get a message box. We go over here, we interact. We get a different message box. We can't mess it up anymore. When we're talking about things, we can't see anything. Yeah, okay, it's done. Save. All right. Thank you for watching this extended episode of Breakfast with Unity. Sorry, I usually like to keep these things around 15 to 20 minutes. This one went to 35. But, it's still under an hour, and I think it was worth it. So, if you have any questions, please email me, pushypixels@pushypixels.com. You can also tweet me at Drakfire. That's DRAKFYRE. Please donate to the show, patreon.com/cookingwithunity. We really appreciate your support. If you do that, you get access to the Cooking with Unity super repo that will be more super as time progresses. And it just has cool stuff that I'm working on and things that are useful in there that aren't on the main show. So thank you very much, and you guys have a great one and great weekend, and I'll catch you on Monday with some Breakfast with Unity and full-on Cooking with Unity on Monday night. See ya!